Hello everyone, welcome to From the Heart. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Mary. We're excited to bring to you all that's new and good when it comes to the arts in Central Florida.
Today we are talking with Bob Kodges, owner and founder of Flight of Ideas.
We look forward to learning about Bob's passionate and creative journey up to now. Welcome, Bob.
Yeah,
Hi,
welcome,
guys.
Bob. So glad to have you. So speaking of creative journey, tell us what you were like as a child. And maybe something that inspired you to be creative.
My mom was always very supportive of me drawing all the time. I've been drawing since I was a little kid. I took my first drawing class when I was 42, but I had been drawing my whole life up until that point. I was one of 6 kids. I was actually a middle child of 6 kids, so a lot of my creativity, I think, came from the struggle for attention. 6 kids, 2 parents, do the math. It's kind of tough to get what you want out of that situation. And I could steal food off of a Lazy Susan like nobody's business when I was a kid. But it was fun to grow up in a crowd. It was fun to grow up with a group of people that I still to this day adore. I mean, they were all in my house just for my daughter's wedding, and to see that common sense of humor and that feeling of safety when you're around your people really is a beautiful thing. So no extraordinary adventures. I was into karate since I was a little kid. That helped to make me more confident as I grew up. And everywhere I could, I was drawing pictures, listening but drawing at the same time.
When you started taking lessons, did it change how you felt free?
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that I was very much a finger and wrist drawer. So I would draw things in great detail, but it was very uptight. And then I took a drawing class from the amazing Marie Orban, who teaches at Creality, and this lady unleashed me. She had me using full arm strokes, and so now drawing is an aerobic exercise for me. I do street painting, probably about the size of the carpet in this room, and you can't do that in the timeline allotted by just wrists. So it really did. It opened me up, and it also allowed me to see things differently, be comfortable with my view of what I'm seeing, and not just trying to duplicate what's already in existence.
Do you have any other mentors or people who encouraged you along the journey to be who you are today?
So many. I mean, really, I don't know of anybody who's successful in the creative world who doesn't have 100 people that have helped them to put those pieces together. Marie Orban was obviously a wonderful influence on my drawing world. Creatively, around SAC Comedy Lab doing performances, there have been amazing teachers like Richard Paul, who is really, he's a lion of improv. He just completely unleashed me and made me feel like I could do anything. And it's funny because you grow to love these people a lot when they do that for you, because they're adding something that you can take with you. And so they'll always be honored in that way. And I've had some corporate mentors as well who have really supported my creativity in spite of the corporate world fighting against them. The president of Orlando Health, Gary Strack, was a wonderful mentor to me, and it still is actually to this day. And so yeah, there are a lot of people that helped make me who I am and helped keep me inspired to this day.
What do you keep in mind when you mentor people?
It's their journey, it's not mine. And so I have to use caution to not try to influence too much. Better to help them to explore than to point to a destination and tell them that's where you need to go. And so I try to treat it like coaching, kind of, where you do a lot of listening, you ask questions, and then you watch them self-illuminate. You watch them find the path to where they want to go and what they want to do. And to me, that's more satisfying than telling them, go do this and see how it feels. They're exploring their own path, and it's an honor to be asked to help them to find their way, because that's a personal something.
Are you like that too, Joshua?
I think so, yeah. I was just speaking just recently, and I think the more that we can tell people that we believe in them and partner with them in their journey where they are, instead of trying to change their path or change their direction or make them be somebody that they're not, is where we find true success. So I totally agree with you. What do you think are some attributes that are important when being an artist or being creative? What are things that, one that I think of is perseverance. I mean, you cannot give up, but what do you think are some attributes that are important?
Perseverance is a good one, because you do have to keep working at it. One of my favorite artists locally, Larry Moore, says that you have to put in the work. This is part of the challenge. If you want to develop the skills, you've got to work it out. I'd say finding out who you are and what you want to say, because in my mind, almost all of arts are communication. That's one of the reasons I love it. Communication and connection. So if you know who you are, it's a lot easier to create something that's original and true to you. So know who you are. You're going to have to put the work in. Keep an open heart and an open mind. Sometimes where we think we need to be isn't where we need to be. I'm a professional improviser. I like to take it one step at a time and see where it leads me. And I enjoy that journey. A lot of people feel less comfortable about that, but I feel like you have to start the exploration.
It's interesting you say sometimes where we think we need to be isn't where we need to be. So much of the shoulds in our head, what we went to school for, what our parents said we were good at. But then when we know who we are and we see what really makes that heartbeat faster, as you say, sometimes it's totally different. And you're like, really? But this is so easy, but this is so fun. Well,
Exactly.
hello. Life can sometimes be that way.
Yeah, you have to worry about the shoulds. I have a friend who says she's tired of being should upon because everyone imposes what they feel
T-shirt.
should be. And life isn't what should be. Life is what is. And let's take it that way. I think most of the disappointment in our lives comes from us setting those inflexible expectations out there. And then when we encounter reality, not being able to react to what the world is really throwing at us. So I'd say yes. Accept what is and work with that and see what you can do with
So
it.
here's a question for you. We talked about how knowing who you are, and we talked about the arts. Do you find that people participating in the arts, whether going to a museum or a play, helps them discover who they are?
Absolutely.
Then tell us how.
Well, you know what it's when you go into an art museum, it's kind of like looking for a needle in a haystack. The needle being that which inspires you. But as you look at all that's presented to you, we naturally have an affinity toward one thing or another, and the compilation of those things that we have an affinity for, that's us. So again, we don't all have a full picture of who we are necessarily, but I'm an explorer. I'm going to go out and I'm going to amass knowledge about what turns me on. And then I'm going to try to put myself in those places more often than not, because a lot of the world is suffering from burnout right now. And the antidote to burnout isn't go in a room and put your head into the pillow and sleep. The antidote to burnout is wholeheartedness. It's putting yourself out there where you love what you're doing. You love what you're experiencing. And when you do that, you create an economy of energy that allows you to take it even further. So I'm always encouraging people to go out and find what they love. Make note of it so that when you get exhausted, you can go back there and regenerate your energy and use that energy for whatever you want. I like to use it to create. I like to use it to inspire. But whatever turns you on, I'd say use it for that.
I love this conversation.
Yes, me too.
Why do we have to stop?
I know, I hate that we do. I hate that we do. But unfortunately, at this time we do, but we're going to come back with you.
All right.
Yay. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
We enjoyed hearing about Bob's inspiration to delve into the creative process. Please join us when we come back and hear what the future holds for Bob and his flight of ideas here from the heart.